It was to be the largest construction project in history, a 170-kilometer-long linear city in the middle of the desert. It was to provide space for over 9 million people, with gleaming facades, completely self-sufficient, and with the latest technology such as flying cabs. But instead of a revolutionary wonder city, the line in Saudi Arabia is struggling with massive setbacks and problems. Insiders are reporting the first redundancies among the building contractors, and internally the plan for the project is said to have shrunk from 170 kilometers to just 2.4 kilometers. Others are even talking about the complete failure of the line. So what is the current status of the Saudi Wonder City? What progress has the construction project made recently? Why are there so many problems right now, and have the Saudis really overreached themselves this time? We take a look at all these exciting questions in today's video. Have fun! First, let's take a look at the original plans. The gigantic construction project was announced back in 2017 by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He did not hold back with superlatives at the time, as he wanted to build the most impressive structure in history. The city was to stretch 170 kilometers through the barren desert and consist of 2 parallel mirror glass skyscrapers that would enable a sustainable and ultra-modern way of life. The city was to be designed to be completely carbon neutral. Numerous innovative technologies and infrastructures were also planned, including microclimate control. The design is intended to ensure that the temperature inside the city remains comfortable, regardless of the external conditions of the desert. High-speed trains, a transportation system that allows residents to traverse the entire 170-kilometer route in just 20 minutes. Smart city technologies. Automation and artificial intelligence should be integrated into everyday operations, including autonomous vehicles, air cabs, and robots providing various services. And it should also become a flagship project for sustainability. Only renewable energies, in particular solar and wind energy, should be used to power the city and produce green hydrogen. A large part of the city was to be completed by 2030, providing living space for 1.5 million people, and later for as many as 9 million. But even the line is only a sub-project of the gigantic overarching NEOM project. This has a budget of around 1.5 trillion US dollars. It is mainly being financed by the Saudi Public Investment Fund, which aims to free the country's economy from its dependence on oil and open up new sources of income. Further mega-projects are to be created in the process. For example, Oxagon, a state-of-the-art industrial and port city that is planned as the world's largest floating structure project. Oxagon is to become a center for advanced manufacturing and innovative technologies. Then we have Trojena, a year-round mountain tourism destination that will offer winter sports, adventure activities, and luxury accommodation in the middle of the desert. Trojena will include a ski resort, hiking trails, a wellness resort, and a nature reserve. And also Sindala, an exclusive island planned as a luxury tourist and yacht harbor. It will offer high-end resorts, a golf course, marinas, and exclusive shopping facilities to the latest standards. In total, the NEOM project will cover an area of 26,000 square kilometers on the northern shore of the Red Sea. By comparison, Belgium has an area of just over 30,000 square kilometers. So the Saudis are certainly not holding back with ambitious plans. After all, they probably know best that oil does not offer long-term income security. On the one hand, production possibilities will run out at some point, and on the other, more and more Western countries are turning to more sustainable forms of energy. The Saudi royal family is therefore doing everything it can to diversify its economy as quickly as possible in order to remain in power in the desert state. In addition to mega projects aimed at boosting tourism, this also works through sport. The Saudis are buying into golf, Formula One, and soccer on a massive scale and want to become a new global stronghold for all types of sport. The kingdom will host the Asian Winter Games in 2029, and the awarding of the FIFA World Cup in 2034 is already considered a certainty after FIFA itself beat out all competitors. The projects are therefore under great time pressure in order to be ready for the global media events, and this is precisely where the first problem lies. The sheer size and scale means that even small errors or delays can have a significant impact on the schedule and budget. And this was already very clear at the start of construction in 2021, because one of the biggest hurdles is the lack of suitable building materials. It may sound contradictory, but the project lacks sand. Although the line is being built in the middle of the desert, the sand there is not suitable for making concrete. This means that the sand has to be imported, which significantly increases construction costs and leads to logistical delays. In addition, the planned infrastructure requires a massive amount of resources and energy. Building an all-electric infrastructure in such a remote and inhospitable environment is technically almost impossible. New supply lines for electricity and water need to be created, which is also proving very difficult so far. Many architects and experts therefore agree that the construction of such a desert state is not possible at all, especially not in such a tight time frame. And although the Saudi royal family is very careful not to let any problems slip through to the public, negative headlines from internal sources are now appearing time and again. Recently, Bloomberg reported, citing anonymous sources, that the plans may indeed have been too ambitious. Even the builders estimated that, despite their best efforts, only 2.4 of the planned 170 kilometers could be completed in the next 6 years. In other words, only 1.5% of the planned project. That is quite a setback. And as far as housing is concerned, they also seem to have rowed back. Instead of offering living space for 1.5 million people by 2030, which would correspond to the entire population of Munich, only around 300,000 people are to settle there for the time being. Although it was also communicated beforehand that the line would be built in several stages. The size of the individual construction phases was apparently massively overestimated, resulting in major delays. The final target of 2045, when 9 million people are expected to live there, also seems a long way off. On the other hand, some still believe in the ultimate success of the project, including several German companies that are also involved in the construction. These include the Bavarian Bauer Group, which has already started the foundation work for the huge buildings. ThyssenKrupp is involved in the construction of the hydrogen factory, and the air taxi manufacturer is to supply air cabs for the line. And Siemens is hoping to win contracts for the underground metro system and a high-speed train. If it really does come to that, because the project is also plagued by numerous other problems. The financing of the line is another critical point. Originally, the costs were estimated at $500 billion, but the actual expenditure could already be significantly higher. This has apparently also led to considerable concerns in the royal family regarding the economic viability and profitability of the project. Investing in such large-scale infrastructure projects is risky, especially in a market characterized by uncertainty and fluctuating oil prices. In addition, the project has also been heavily criticized internationally. The fact that renowned architects have repeatedly criticized the project has led to investors pulling out time and again. Furthermore, the resettlement of the Bedouin tribes living there has led to internal tensions. The working conditions of the construction workers are also the subject of international criticism. Human rights organizations have repeatedly pointed out the poor working conditions and lack of pay for the workers, who often come from low-wage countries such as India, Bangladesh, or Nepal. There are also numerous ecological concerns. It is now relatively obvious that the line will not meet the ambitious time frame. Internally, the project already seems to have been massively shortened, and we will probably only see a maximum of 2.4 kilometers of the planned 170 kilometers by the end of the decade. Although even this is still being questioned by many experts, it remains to be seen whether Saudi Arabia can adapt its ambitious plans in order to realize at least parts of the vision. If not, the line could go down in history as an example of excessive ambition and lack of feasibility.